my son and I were just watching a little Rumble, and wow, Rebel News just put something out about the death of a 14-year-old child in, I think it's Alberta. Fake news from health bureaucrats and the state media. They reported, and it was news, and I remember seeing this news where they said a 14-year-old boy was one of the 33 victims that day from COVID. The youngest person ever in Alberta or even Canada probably to die of COVID. Everybody knows now that even the young can die from COVID, right? I think that's the message that they were pushing. There's one problem with that. It was fake news. And the reason why we know it was fake news is because the family, Simone Spitzer, the 14-year-old on the article, is my brother. He died from stage 4 brain cancer, not from COVID. This is fake news. He was diagnosed in January 2021 and hospitalized in August. 2 days before his death, he was tested for COVID. 2 days before his death, he was tested for COVID. Maybe they knew, well, they obviously knew his death was coming because the sister said he was dying from stage 4 brain cancer, and he died from it. So 2 days before you test somebody for, why? You're afraid he's going to get an infection and die from COVID and not brain cancer? So they said he died from COVID. You know how many people are going to believe that? You're going to see that and think, this 14-year-old was among 33 COVID deaths. So shame on you if you don't get your kid vaccinated. That's the narrative they're using there. Dr. Dina Hinshaw apologizes and says Alberta teen didn't actually die from COVID. This incident has caused suffering for many, and again, I apologize for this. So there she is. Apologizing for something that somebody concocted, obviously, because it sure made headlines and got people's attention. 14-year-old, right, dying of COVID. Everybody's like, I was shocked when I heard it because we know the numbers. You see the numbers. 14-year-olds are not dying from COVID. And here they are making fake news. And so you got to ask why. You got to ask why 2 days before this 14-year-old boy dies from stage 4 brain cancer, they give him a COVID test.
I first want to apologize to the family of the 14-year-old whose death I spoke about on Tuesday. The pain of losing a child is terrible enough without having that loss compounded by a public debate about the circumstances. I am sorry if the way that I spoke about that death made your grief worse.